Welcome back to this Kubepanel tutorial. We've just finished the installation, and now it's time to explore the control panel itself. In this session, we'll walk through how to add a new domain to the system, and as part of the process, we'll also pre-install WordPress. Kubepanel takes care of all the complexity behind the scenes, including automatically creating the necessary DNS records on Cloudflare and issuing a valid HTTPS certificate so your site is secure from the very beginning. This means your website is online faster, fully secured, and ready to use with just a few clicks. As this is a clean deployment, the first thing we need to do is add a Cloudflare API token to the system. With this token, Kubepanel can automatically manage your DNS zones on Cloudflare. So let's click on Cloudflare API tokens, and then on the next screen, click Add your first token. I'll paste my token here and give it a name, then click Add Token. Once that's saved, we can go back to the Domains page and click Add Domain. On the next screen, I'll enter our demo domain name, justawood.com. This is a real, registered domain name that we'll use for this demo. It's important to note, if you want to use the Cloudflare integration, your domain must be delegated to Cloudflare name servers or registered directly with Cloudflare. Next, I'll allocate 1 GB of storage for this domain. For CPU limits, remember that 1000 milli-CPU equals 1 CPU core. Here I'm setting it to 500, meaning the website can use up to 50% of a CPU core. For memory, I'll also set the limit to 500 megabytes. Now, for the runtime, I'll select PHP 8.3. Kubepanel also allows you to extend this list with custom container images if you need other runtimes. In the advanced options, I'll choose to pre-install WordPress and enable Add DNS records automatically to Cloudflare, selecting the token we added earlier. Finally, we click Add Domain. Kubepanel will start provisioning, and in just a few seconds, we'll be redirected to the logs page, which refreshes every 5 seconds so we can follow the progress in real time. Besides the logs, Kubepanel also gives you multiple ways to monitor the deployment status right from the admin interface. For example, on the Domains page, you can already see the status of the containers. Here, both the Nginx and PHP containers are starting, but not yet running. They're in a pending state, most likely waiting for the storage to be provisioned. On the Live Cluster Status page, we get another real-time view. Here you can see that we're still waiting for the Nginx and PHP pod to become fully operational. You can also see the Acme certificate challenges running in the background, as Kubepanel automatically validates your domain and issues a valid HTTPS certificate. This means that by the time your site is ready, it's already secured with encryption, without any manual certificate management. After 1 or 2 minutes, we should see the pods move into a running state. At the same time, the Acme pod will disappear once the certificate validation has succeeded and your HTTPS certificate is issued. If you still see Acme pods running after 5 or 10 minutes, there's a high chance something is wrong with the domain's DNS settings. You can filter by the domain's namespace to quickly check the status of only the pods related to that domain, which makes troubleshooting even easier. In that case, double-check with the dig command to make sure the domain's A records match the external IP addresses of your Kubepanel servers. Correct DNS is essential for the certificate validation to succeed. As a best practice, using a wildcard A record is often a good idea. This way, all of your subdomains automatically point to the right place, and certificate issuance becomes much simpler. But let's go back to the Domains page. After adding a domain, Kubepanel shows you detailed information, including the connection details for the automatically provisioned MariaDB database, as well as SFTP access for file management. Now let's continue with the pre-installed WordPress deployment. I'll open a new browser tab and navigate to justawood.com. As expected, the WordPress installation page appears. We'll choose a language, click Continue, and move on to the database setup. Here, we can simply copy and paste the predefined database credentials directly from Kubepanel. No need to create them manually. It's important to note that in a Kubepanel environment, you should use 127.0.0.1 as the database host. Unlike in traditional hosting, the MariaDB service is not running locally on the same machine, but instead inside the cluster. Kubepanel simplifies this by automatically redirecting the 3306 Maria D port on 127.0.0.1 to the default Kubepanel database engine. After clicking Submit, we can run the installation. On the next page, we'll fill in the username, password, and email address for the WordPress administrator, then click Install WordPress. And that's it. We can now log into our brand new WordPress site and start customizing it. With Kubepanel, you can go from zero to a fully functional, secure WordPress site in just a few minutes.